let's talk about one of our most powerful, yet maybe most misunderstood, abilities, the human sense of smell. It's a superpower you're using every single second. And honestly, you probably don't even realize just how incredible it is. So let's just start with a really basic question. If I asked you right now, how many different scents can your nose pick up, what number would you even guess? For decades, there's been this one number floating around that we've all just kind of accepted as fact. But what if that number was off by, well, a lot? Yeah, this is probably the number that popped into your head, 10,000. It's been in textbooks, in science articles, everywhere for years. The only problem? It was never actually based on any real science. It was just a guess, a convenient assumption that completely undersold what our noses are actually capable of. Okay, get ready for this. The reality is, our noses can distinguish at least 1 trillion distinct scents. No, that is not a typo. 1 trillion. That's a million. This one fact completely rewrites everything we thought we knew about our own biology. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dive into how our sense of smell went from being seen as this primitive afterthought to a scientifically verified superpower. We'll get into the groundbreaking discovery, the amazing biology behind it, its deep connection to memory, and how it shapes our world every single day. For centuries, our sense of smell has been, well, dismissed. Philosophers even called it the most ungrateful sense because it seemed so tied to our animal instincts, not our higher human reason. It was always put at the bottom of the list, way below sight and hearing. But that whole way of thinking, it's being completely overturned. And this table right here just shows how massive that shift in understanding has been. We've gone from a convenient guess to a hard scientific fact. The old belief painted our sense of smell as this blunt, limited tool. The reality? It's an incredibly complex, nuanced instrument with an almost unbelievable range. So how in the world did we make that jump from 10,000 to 1 trillion? I mean, that's not a small correction. This wasn't a gradual change. It was a total earthquake caused by one single groundbreaking study. So here's the timeline. Before 2014, that 10,000 number was just there. Nobody had ever really bothered to test it. Then, a team of researchers at Rockefeller University decided to finally measure our olfactory abilities. And, well, their findings changed literally everything. What they did was create these incredibly complex cocktails of different scent molecules and then ask people to tell them apart. And what this discovery proved once and for all is that our sense of smell isn't just a little better than we thought. It is orders of magnitude more powerful. It's a high-precision sensory system, revealing a hidden biological strength we never even knew we had. Okay, so how does our body pull off this incredible feat? You might think, well, we must have more smell receptors than any other animal. But that's actually not true. The secret isn't in the number of parts, but in the brilliant way they all work together. Let's compare ourselves to dogs. They're famous for their sense of smell, right? And yeah, they have more than double the types of receptors we do, about 1,000 to our 400. But our strength, our superpower, lies in what's called combinatorial power. Our brain uses those 400 receptors in these incredibly complex and creative ways. Think of it like this. Our 400 receptor types are like letters in an alphabet. A single scent doesn't just trigger one letter. No, it triggers a unique combination of them. The brain then reads that pattern, that word, as a specific smell. And with 400 letters to play with, you can create a practically limitless vocabulary of scents. And here's how that process works in 4 super quick steps. A scent molecule flies into your nose. It activates a unique pattern of those receptors. That pattern gets zipped as a signal to your brain's smell center, the olfactory bulb, and your brain instantly decodes it. This all happens in a fraction of a second. It's amazing. But this sense is about so much more than just identifying things. It's uniquely and really powerfully wired directly into the parts of our brain that handle memory and emotion. And this is where things get really personal for all of us. We've all had this happen, right? The smell of fresh-cut grass, or maybe a specific perfume, or something your grandma used to bake. And boom, you're not in the present anymore. You are instantly transported back to a childhood memory with this incredible clarity. There's a very real biological reason for that. So unlike our other senses, like sight and hearing, which have to go through a kind of central switchboard in the brain, our olfactory bulb has a direct hotline to the limbic system. and that's the ancient emotional core of our brain. This direct connection means a scent can trigger a memory or an emotion before we even have time to consciously think about what we're smelling. What this means is that our reaction to a smell is often just guttural. It's immediate. A smell can make us feel safe, it can put us on high alert, or it can just fill us with nostalgia, and it's all happening subconsciously. It's this powerful, invisible force that's constantly shaping our emotional world. So, when you put it all together, you realize this powerful sense is constantly humming along in the background. It's a silent superpower that guides our survival, our social lives, and our choices in ways we've rarely even stopped to think about. I mean, think about it. For our ancestors, it was a critical survival tool. Finding good food, avoiding danger. Even today, your nose is your first line of defense against a gas leak or spoiled food. It even plays a role in our social world, subtly picking up on chemical cues from other people. It's wild. And now, scientists are racing to figure out how to harness this power. They're developing these electronic noses that could maybe one day diagnose diseases just from a person's breath. They're trying to create digital scent technology for things like VR. The potential applications are just enormous. Ultimately, what this all comes down to is that our sense of smell is far from primitive. It's a profoundly complex system that just enriches our experience of the world, decoding a universe of invisible stories with every single breath we take. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time some random smell just stops you in your tracks, take a moment, appreciate this silent, trillion scent superpower that you carry around with you every day, and just ask yourself, what story is this scent telling me?